Let's start today's session. Okay, so so far we have covered basically all about data frames, how to filter the data, how to add rows, delete rows, draw columns, add columns, kind of things, right? Basically, we have been working on data frames on row by row basis, one row at a time. We are filtering a row, we are adding a row, right? Now, next part comes is aggregation, right? So, for example, we have this data set, right? I want to see what is the total sales I have done, right? So if I open this back in Excel, okay. So let me open orders.excel as well. So we have this orders data set, right? This is the data set that we have been reading so far, orders.txt. And this is the total sales, right? So total sales is this much, 1107592, right? How do I check what is my total sales in pandas, right? What is my total profit in pandas, or what is my minimum sales in this, right? All these kinds of aggregation we need to know, right? So for that, we have, so on series data, on series objects, right? So when we select one particular column, it becomes a series, right? So I will say df and then let's say sales. So I'm taking DF sales, right? So this is my series now, because the moment I choose only one column, it becomes a series. Now for series objects, we have the all the aggregate functions. So I can say sum. So it will give me sum of sales, right? So it is giving me total sales. See 1107592, same here, 1107592, right? So this is giving me total sales. So this is on series objects. I can directly apply this sum function, right? So this is doing sum of all the rows in my data frame, right? Total sum. Similarly, we have average. If I want average of sales, so I can just say mean, right? So it will give me mean, right? And then we have max. All those functions we have max, min. It will give me max. So this is the max sales I have done. So it will go to each row and check which is the max sales, right? So this is how on the data frame, on the series, you can directly apply sum, min, max, all the aggregate functions, right? Now this is one thing. Now let me ask all of you a question, right? Now what I want total sales for furniture category. How I will do it? Can someone tell me? Now you know this. Can someone tell me how I will get sales for only furniture category? I
First
want
of
all
all,
We
furniture.
have to filter
applying
condition.
filter, applying
Okay.
filter.
FC equal to
Okay.
df of
Yeah.
uh, df category in single quote. You can mention category equal to
Furniture.
furniture in single quotes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is my
Then
filter condition. Then I will say df filter condition, right? Right?
FC. Yeah. Right.
Yes, and then upon this you will perform the sales. You will after
Yeah.
take that
But
step.
this is a data frame. I have to do sales, right?
Yeah.
Dot sum. So this is giving me furniture category ka sales, right? Total. Are you all good with this?
So this is kind of like partition in SQL, right?
No, no, I have not done partition. I have just filtered on sales and just doing
Yeah.
aggregation. That's it. There is no partition here, right?
So
In
Ankit,
when you
SQL, I
pass when you
apply
pass sales
where
there, you're
category
not
equal to
filtering, right?
furniture and then doing sum of sales. Sorry?
So you're
Ankit,
not taking the okay, you're passing the select sales as a column name there.
Yes. Or I can do df.log as well, right? If I can do df.log, right? Apply the filter condition and take only sales column.
square bracket.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is also fine. So in df.log, I am passing the filter condition and taking only the sales column and then doing sum.
Ankit, if we want that column header as well, like what is this means? What is this value? We want to understand that because
Okay, so
like
we'll see.
furniture,
I
yeah.
will tell you more things. Okay, this is only on series. So series doesn't have a column type, column name, right? Series has index and value. For data frame, we have columns, but for series, if you see, for the series, there is no header as such. There is an index and a value because there is only one column, right? So there will be an index and the value of that index. There is no column name as such for the series. But we will see how we can convert series to, data frames. Okay. But this is what I'm trying to say. This is for category furniture. This is the sale. Now, for example, if I want for technology, right? So what I will do, I will just change the filter, right? And do this same thing. So this will be for technology. Now I want for office supply. Similarly, I will do the same exercise for all of them, right? Now this is fine. We have three categories. Now let's say we have at least 100 cities. Now I don't want to do it one by one, right? I should have some mechanism to get sales of each category, right? So I want some mechanism so that if I apply this, I will get for technology, this much is the sales, for furniture, this much is the sales. Or if I'm applying for New York City,
Like group
I
by.
should, like group by,
Value
right?
counts. Value
Value
counts we
counts.
can use, right?
Value counts will give you just a count of values, right? It will not give you sum of sales or sum of profit.
Okay, okay, okay.
It will just
Okay,
give you
so
for technology, so many rows are there. That's it. Nothing much, right? Value can't just do that. Now we want to do some aggregation, right? So for example, if you work on Excel, you will do using pivot table, right? So you will insert a pivot table. Okay. And you will say category. And then you will take sales. Okay, so this is giving you sum of sales. So it is telling you for furniture category, this is the total sales you have done. For office supplies, this is the total sales. So we don't have to apply filter one by one and take aggregation. It is just giving you a report directly, right? So it becomes easy. Now, for example, instead of category, I can take city. So I'll just remove this.
can we create a
It is-
set of that particular column and iterate through it through loops?
That will be bad, right? Iterating through so many categories, right?
Mhm.
So again, we have cities here, right? So it directly giving me for each city what is the total sales, right? So for that, we have a group by operation in pandas, right? So we can group on the column and get the aggregated values. So I will just show you how to do it. So I pressed escape, but it's still okay. It's fine now. Okay. So what I will say now, I'll say df dot. So df is my data frame, and I'm saying group by, right? So what I'm saying, group the data based on category, right? So I want categories wise sales. So if I go back here, yeah, this is what I'm trying to replicate for now in pandas, right? I want categories wise sale. I want for furniture how much, or whatever categories are there. For each one of them, I want in the output what is the total sales. Instead of doing one by one, filtering one by one and getting that value, I want to directly apply a group by operation and get the report directly. So I will say group by category. What I'm essentially saying, group the data on category, right? So here also all the data is grouped on category, which means furniture, all the rows of furniture is grouped into one row, right? So we have so many rows for furniture, right? All of them is grouped into one. For office supply grouped into one, technology grouped into one. So that's why it is called group by. So I want to do group by category, right? And then which column I want? I want sales. And that's sum, right? So I'm grouping on category and then I want sum of sales. This is what I want, right? Exactly replica of this. If I run this, you will get this, right? You are getting a series object, right? It is a series, just a column. This is the index, right? And this is the value. So you are getting furniture, this is the total sales. For office supplies, this is the total sales. And for technology, this is the total sales, right? This is same as here, 628359 for furniture. So this is how you can get a report directly by
Ankit,
grouping on a column.
one question. Okay, can I change the order of the query which you have written? Df dot sales dot group by dot sum. Can I write
No,
like that?
no, no. You have
Okay, we have
to,
to.
this is the syntax. There is another syntax I will just show you, but this is how you have to do it. Now, if you look at the data type of this, right?
Mhm.
This is a series, not a data frame, right? This is a series, right? So this is a series. Let me put that into a variable. Df.
If I want to take more than one column instead of cell, then
I'm
category and
coming,
cell both.
coming. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is your series. For series, this is your index, right? For data frame also we saw we can set the index. So this category becomes the index, right? And this is the value. So if I just do dot index, it will give me indexes. So these are the index, right? Three index:
Mhm.
furniture, office supplies, and technology, right? And I can do values. It will give me values. So for the series object, there are only two things: index and value, right? It doesn't have
Mhm.
multiple columns. The moment it has multiple columns, it becomes a data frame, right? So when we have
Okay.
only one index and value, then it is a series, right? And there is no column name. I can just say index. So it will give you all the indexes of a series, right?
Mhm.
And if you say values, it will give you all the values, right?
Mhm.
Now let's say you want to convert it to a data frame, right? You want to convert to a data frame, and data frame value should be category and sales, right? So what you can do, you can say pd dot.
Before going there, Ankit, okay, can you tell us, okay, what could be the order of execution in terms of internally if it will execute, means how it will process this query, whatever we have written in df dot group by s. What is
Yeah,
the order of execution?
yeah. So there are only two things. One is group by and one is sum, right? So what
Yeah.
do you think? What it should do first? Just think
First
about it.
sum, then group by in SQL. How it do?
No, in SQL also it is first group by. In
Yeah,
same
first group by,
operation.
yes. First group by in sum, yes. Correct.
Here also it
First,
will just group the data based on category and then aggregate everything, right? And again, we
yeah.
can use sum, mean, max, everything we can do
And
here.
and if we want to use any filter condition, then where it will fit in here?
So filter you have to apply first, and then on top of that you have to do this. So
And
you
if
create
if we
another
if
data
we have
frame.
to apply the filter on the basis of group by,
Then again, this data frame is created, right? On top of it, you can apply filters, right?
okay, means we have to assign into one of the data frame, then we will apply.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you
Got it.
can directly do here as well. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
try
yeah.
multiple things, but everything works. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying, this is your series now, right? Which has an index and a value. Now, for example, if you want to convert for some reason, you want to convert it to a data frame. So you can say pd.data frame, right? And pass your. So what you have to do is, if you remember, we created a key value pair to create a data frame initially, right? Let me show you that. If you
Columns.
remember, these are the JSON I created, right? And in the JSON, I mean, in pd.data frame, I passed the JSON, it created a data frame, right? Now, the same thing I'm going to do here. What I will do, I will say, I will create a JSON, right? I will say the first column should be category and the values will be dot index, right? Now, what I will say, second column should be, let's say sales, and that should be again dot values, right? So it will create a data frame for me. See, it created a data frame. Okay. So this just it has nothing to do with group by, but I'm just telling in general, if you want to convert a series to a data frame, you can do it, right? Simply. So the index you created first column, category column, and whatever is the value of each index you created in another column, right? So you converted this data frame to a series to a data frame. Data frame. Okay, coming back to group by. So let's put this.
So Ankit, every group by creates a series only. Is it that?
This by this way, yes. I'll tell you more ways which will create a data frame. Okay. So if you want just one column in the output, right? In that case, you are just doing a group by one category and you want just one column in the output, right? Then in that way, you will do this. There is another option. So you can say as index equal to false, right? So what you are saying, when you do by default group by category, what it does is it creates category as an index, right? That's what we saw. That category became the index of the series. Now what I'm saying that don't make it as an index, right? And let's see what will happen. So I will just df dot group by category as index equal to false and run this. So you see we are directly getting a data. Okay. So when you don't pass this, it means it will create category as an index. And the moment I say as index equal to false, it is not going to create the index. It will just another column category and sum of sales. Okay. So this is all about. Now you can do group by on two columns as well. So what you can say, you will say that I want on, let's say, city and category combination, I want the sum of sales, right? So for example, if I go to here and take city, so it is giving me all the combinations. Sorry. Yeah, so it is giving me all the combination, right? For furniture, right? Office supplies and technology, right? So it is saying for furniture and for this city, this is the total sales, right? So this is the combination of furniture and city, right? So for each combination, you are getting total sales. Basically, you are doing a group by on two columns. So you can just pass two columns here. You can say, you can pass a list, category and city, right? So you are passing a list to a group by, then do the grouping on these two columns and give me sum of sales. Okay, so if I run this now, it is giving me sum of sales based on the combination of category and city.
Can you remove the index criteria and also in the select pass the category? Will it create a data frame or it will still a list?
No, it will create
And
an index. So this is an index again.
no, in the select clause also you will pass category.
Where is select clause here?
Select clause means okay. If in the field select field sales. Okay,
So this is
now
sum of sales we are doing,
sum of
right?
sales,
We can't pass category here.
correct. Mhm.
So I'm just doing sum of sales, grouping on these two, right? So it created a multi-index kind of thing. So if you just assign it to DFC, let's say,
Mhm.
and if you check DFC dot index, it's a multi-index column. So you have a tuple, right?
Mhm.
So each tuple is an index.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't want, you can just again pass as index equal to false, and that should be fine. Okay.
So
So
Ankit,
this is
now it's
about,
a series. Is it series?
sorry,
Is it series now?
it's still a series, index and a value. That's it, right? It is still a series. See, it is a series only.
Yeah, even we have two columns are there. Still is a series. Is it?
No, there are no two columns. The index is multi-index,
Okay. Okay.
right? And then a value.
Okay.
So index is a tuple. Your index is a tuple. That's it, right?
Okay.
And there is a value. That's it. So if I do dfc dot index, right? So this is a tuple, right? And there is a value. Only two things are there for the series.
And in the same query, if I want to see how many number of cities in each group, then can we do that in here? Count.
Yeah. I'm coming to. So far we have been doing only one operation. But what if we want to do more than one, right? So let's do it. So df dot add. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want sum of sales and let's say sum of profit as well, right? Or count of profit, anything, right? So how I can do? So for example, if I go back here, so we have sales, right? Total sales. What I want profit as well. So it is giving me sum of sales and sum of profit. With this syntax, what we have done, we can just do sum of one measure, right? Sum of sales, that's it. I can't do anything else here. For that, we have another syntax. If you want to have multiple aggregation in the same command, so what you have to do is you will say, let me copy this. I will make changes here. Let's do with one column for now, but we can apply it to multiple columns again. So I'll say df dot group by and just remove this and dot agg, right? So what I'm saying, group on category and give all these aggregations. Now here I have to pass a JSON, a dictionary, right, with key value pair. So what I'm saying, I want sales, and for sales, I want sum. This is how I pass. That I want sum of sales, right? So this is the first key value pair. I want sales, and what aggregation I want? I want sales, sum. Now second, I want profit. Sorry. I want profit, right? And again, let's say here I want again sum. I can do anything, mean, max, anything, count, whatever I want, right? So this is how I can give multiple aggregations. Group on category, give me sum of sales, and then give me sum of profit, right? Let's run this. Okay, I created a new one. Let's remove this for now. Okay, so you see, now this category is become your index of the data frame, right? And you have two columns, sales and profit, right? So this is your sales, this is your profit. Again, if you want that category should not be index, you can say as index equal to false. By default, it is a true. You can say I don't want category as an index, create it as a separate column. Just pass this as index equal to false, and you will get a data frame where you have category, sales, and profit. Right now, again, if you want min, you can take min, will give you minimum. See, it is coming in negative because you are doing a minimum. So it is checking for furniture category what is the minimum profit, right, for any particular row. So it will give you that. Okay, and you can add as many as you want. You want one more, you can add as many. There's no
But
limit.
Ankit, is it recommended to write it this way?
So if you want multiple values, then you don't have any option, right? With this, the above one, you can do just one thing,
But each time
right?
we will have to pass it to a particular variable, then again assign count or sum after.
In this one, right?
In that one.
Right. You can do only one and then you have to join them again.
Okay.
But you have this option, right? If there is only one, then yeah, this is the best. But if you have multiple aggregations to be in the output, then you have to use this. You don't have any other option. This is the best you can do.
Can we use single operation for with using AGG also?
Yeah. It won't say no. Let's do this. So this also will work. Category sales, right? So if you are getting confused that you have to remember two syntaxes, let's remember this one, right? If there is only one value, pass one value. If there are multiple values, pass multiple values. You don't have to remember two syntaxes in that case.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What is the difference? At first you are telling JSON and here dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the difference? Like the syntax both are same, right?
Both are same. Dictionary is also a key value pair and JSON also a key value pair. JSON is JavaScript object notation, and it is similar, but in Python we call it dictionary only. It is a
So
dictionary,
both,
right? Key
both,
value pair.
both syntax are same.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Are we good? Any doubt in the aggregation?
No, Ankit.
Okay, great. So just two
After
things you
group
have to
by,
remember.
after
Yeah.
group by, can we do having like in sequence in here?
There is no as such having directly, but again, it is a data frame, right? Now you can apply whatever filter on that, right? You have two columns in this category sales. Now, whatever filter we have discussed, you can apply on top of it. But there is no direct, one to one having something kind of thing.
Okay, I mean we have to assign into a data frame and then on the top of that we can apply.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So this is a
And
data
here we
frame.
can
Now,
pass.
on top of it, you can say, so df, I think, so I will say df dot, no, you have to assign it to a
No,
different one.
assign it to. We
Yeah,
have to assign it to because it is not
because this is the result. So this
correct.
result, you have
Correct.
to further use it. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So besides category, can I pass another column also, right?
Yeah, you can pass. I showed you two columns, right? Category and city. Again, you can pass here as well. How many columns you want to pass, you can pass in a list.
Okay. So which
So
one
it
is
will do
take as the
grouping.
index?
Sorry,
So if I pass multiple column names here, so which one take as the index?
both. So it will be a tuple. I showed you the index will be a tuple. The combination of city and category, right? So in that case, we just did this. If I remove this as index, so you see, this is an index. Index is a tuple, the combination of category and city.
Okay.
If I do index dot index, see, it is a multi-index series. Each index is a tuple. Instead of a string or a value, it is a tuple. Okay. Yeah. Let me put it back. Okay. Great. Okay. So this is all about grouping, right? How to group the data. Now let's talk about how to merge the data. Merge or let's say join. Okay. So again, for example, here let me remove this. Okay. So we have this orders data set and we have a returns data set also now. Okay. So we have this returns and we have the order ID and return reason. So some of these orders which you see here, out of those, I have just taken 10 orders, right? And those are returned. So those orders were returns for some reason. So we have return reason, right? Because of bad quality or wrong product or other reasons, we have this. Now I want to take this data to this sheet, right? Because I want to see how much sales was lost. So until and unless I get this data along with the orders data, I cannot do it. So in Excel, how you will do? You will do a VLOOKUP, right? So you will say return reason, right? And you will say equal to VLOOKUP and you will look on the order ID, right? Because order ID is the thing. And then you will go to return data set and pick this one. And then say give me column index 2. The in this table the index 2 is return reason and it's a false exact match we want to do. Right? So I got bad quality return reason, right? So once I have this data, I can see that because of the bad quality, how much sales we lost, right? So I can just say filter, right? And if I just do this, so I will know because of bad quality, this much sales we lost, right? So basically, essentially what we are doing, we are joining these two data sets using VLOOKUP, right? Now the same thing I want to do it in pandas. Let's do it. So I've created a returns.txt file as well. Let me create this dfr. So dfr my return data set. I will say pd dot read csv and returns dot txt. Okay, so if I look at my DFR, so it has order ID and return reason, right? This is what I have created. And we have DF, which has the data frame, our original data frame. Okay. Now let's join these two data sets. How we can join? So let me write a command for that. So I will say pd.merge. So merge is the command to merge the data sets. Okay. So I will say pd.merge. Now, when we do a join, right, we have to define two tables, right? So in our example, one is orders table and one is returns table, right? So I will say my first table is orders table, and we can also define which is my left table, right table. I'll just tell you what is the significance of left and right table, but I am passing two data frames here. My left data frame is df, the orders one, right? And then right data frame is dfr, my return data set, right? Now also I have to tell that what kind of, on what column I want to do join, right? So dataset doesn't know, pandas doesn't know that order is the column, right? So I have to tell that from left table, take order ID column, right? And on the right table, from right table, again take the order ID column. Okay. What all information we have to give? First information we have to give, what are my data sets that I want to join? So I want to join DF, which is my orders data set, and DFR is my return data set. I also have to tell when I'm doing a VLOOKUP, I have to tell that on which column I want to do VLOOKUP, right? Here, right? So I want to do A2, which is a order ID, and from the other table also I'm telling that on order ID. So similarly to data frame, we have to tell from the left data set, take order ID column, and from the right data set, take the order ID column. Okay. Let's run this. So if I run this, you see, we are getting all the data, order ID, order date from both the data set, customer name, city, category, product ID, right? Sales, profit, and I'm also getting the return reason now, right? And if you see, we are getting only the 10 rows. You see, we had so many 5,000 rows, but we are only getting the 10 rows, right? Because only the matching order IDs are coming in the output. So whatever order IDs are present in both the data frames, only those you are seeing in the output. Everything else is not coming. So only the return data you are seeing basically in the output now.
Whereas the entire left table should be matched, right?
And
Sorry?
also, okay, that it's not returning all the field of that second table, right? Second data
It is
frame.
returning all the field.
Only in the left
Order-
table, which is the
Order
DF, it is
ID
not
could be
written.
repetitive in that case, right? The order ID
Yeah,
is
but
not
we
repetitive.
have told that we are joining on it. So it understands that there is no point of putting these.
Repeating that. Okay. It's not
Right?
secure, is not really.
Yeah. But if there are three columns, all three columns will come here from the data set.
And this is inner join kind of thing.
Adi,
This is inner join, right?
this is inner join, exactly. So exactly you can pass an argument also anywhere. You can say how equal to inner, right? I'll just, not everyone will be aware of it. I'll just explain you, but you can pass how equal to inner. By default, it is inner. So if you pass how you want to do join, inner join, it will do a inner join. Okay. So this is your inner join. Now what is inner join? Let me explain. So when we are doing this exercise, right? So what is happening? You are getting everything, right? Even if the only whatever the return reason, you are getting that. For everything else, you are getting NA, right? You are getting NA. But in pandas, what happens? The result you are getting is this. Whatever is the matching record, only those data points you are getting. So this is called the inner join. In inner join, only the common values will come. So based on order ID, whatever order IDs are common in both the data sets, only that will come, and that is known as inner join. Okay. Now what VLOOKUP is doing is a left join, which means that all the data of this data set, this left data set. So I'm calling it as left data set. All the rows from the left data set will come, right? And whatever is the matching data from return data set will come. Everything else will be NA, right? So let's try to do left join now in Pandas. So instead of inner, I will just say left. Everything else will be same. So I will say left join. Okay, and let's see what will happen. So if you see, everything is coming. All the rows are coming. 5009 rows, right? And for whatever return reason is not there, it is giving you none. So none is a representation of null value. Like in SQL, we have null. Here we have none. Okay. In next class, we will see how to work with none values like NaN values like we work in SQL. But for now, you just understand none is a unknown value, something not known, right? So when I do a left join, the in Excel, I'm getting a NA value, right? Because this order ID is not returned, right? So I don't have a return reason for that, right? So that's why it is showing me as NA. Similarly, in Panda, you can just do left join. What it will do, whatever is the left data set, it will give you all the rows. And from right data set, whatever is the matching data, it will show you in the out. Okay. Are we clear about it?
Yes, okay. If we want to include more than one field in the joining condition, how to do that?
You can do it. So you can say order ID and I don't have a column, but you can just put two columns here.
Do you have to provide
As
as
a list, you can pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And here also as a list, you can pass.
And it will join based upon the order of the list.
Based on those two columns.
Based upon the index of the list, right? Because field name might be different. So it will join based upon the order of the list, what we passed in the join.
Yes. So if you, let's say order ID, product ID, you give, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. And here also will give you order ID, product ID. So it will join based on these two columns, order ID plus product ID.
No,
right?
That field name might be different in two data set, right? So it will join
So
on
you
the
give
basis of
different
index.
field name. So you can give a product ID here. Let's say here you have product ID and here you have product number. So you can give it. That is absolutely
Yeah, it will
fine.
join on the basis of index, right? Not on that
Order of element is saying order of element of the list is
yes.
So if you are saying it is based on index, no, it is not based on index.
Not in this index, that list index. Means in whatever data we store in a list, it will be having an index order, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. It will join on the basis of that order, right?
Yeah, basically it will pick order ID and order num from right table and just join it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what do you mean by index here.
Okay, fine. I got it now.
I think he is asking about the order in the left. I mean, order of the list in the left on and order of the list in the right.
That will be in that order, right? Okay, right. So it will join on order ID and product ID and whatever you give here, order number, comma, product number, let's say. Yeah, in that order only it will join. Okay. So this is my left join. The first one is inner join. So it should be absolutely clear when to use inner join, when to use left join, right? Inner join will give you only the matching data. Left join will give you everything from the left table. Now similar to inner join and left join, we have the right join as well. So right join means it will give you everything from the right data. Okay. So let me do this thing. Let me add some random order in the right data set. So I have this returns. Okay, and let me add this 9999. So this order is not present in orders data set. Okay, and this is, let me call random return. Save this. Okay, let me close it and go back. Let's create our return data set again. Okay, so we have one more now, right? Now what I'm going to do, I will do a right join now. So I will say do a right join. Right? Everything else will be same. Just I'm changing that do a right join. Right join means everything from the right data set will come and the matching record from the left will come, matching data, right? So if you see what happened.
Order num, right on.
Okay. It is order ID like that. Okay, so if you see, we have 11 rows coming now, right? 0 to 10, total 11, right? So these are the ones which are matching, right? These are the one which are matching, and the random return, right? It doesn't have any information of the orders data set, so everything is coming as none. Okay, so when I do right, all the rows from the right data set will come and the matching data from the left will come. It is just the opposite of left join. In fact, you never need, you can do that. You will say why I need to do left join, sorry, right join. I can just change the data set position. I will call it a DFR and call it DF, right? And this is also fine, absolutely fine. So this one and this one is exactly same. What you have done, you have changed the position of the data set. You are saying, consider this as my left data set, the return data set, and this as right data set, and do a left join, which is absolutely fine and give you the same result. Right? Only the order of column has changed. Now the order ID and return reason are coming first, and then other columns from orders data set. Okay, are we good? Any doubt on left, right? We have one more outer join. So let me show you quickly. Outer join will give you everything. So outer, and let me make DFR. Yeah, that's it. In that, what will happen? If you see, all the those are coming from left and right. So whatever matching rows are there, that will come, as well as the individual rows will also come. So if you see, this random return is also coming here. So all the rows from left data set are coming, right? Irrespective of they are joined or not. So this is the first thing which are joined, right? And whatever is not joined, that will also come. So for example, from left data set, this is coming, right? And the return is none. And from the right data set, this row is also coming. And for this, orders data set attributes are none. Right? So outer join will give you everything. The matching records of both the data set and non-matching also. Okay. Any doubts on join?
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it?
does
Great.
it
And
have
also you can do
overhead?
multiple columns. If you want join on multiple columns, just like SQL, you can just pass as a list and it will do that for you.
Yeah, and then if we need to pass a filter condition, then we need to do it separately after creating the data frame.
Yes. Once this is created, you can assign to another data frame and then apply filter conditions.
Okay.
And Ankit, if we want to pass multiple data frames, like a multiple column, we can join in this SQL.
Multiple data frames you want to join, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will have to do like this. You create this join and then again put it in a data frame and join with third one, then fourth one, like that. At a point, at any point, at one in one command, you can just join two.
Can we
So you
can we pass in the left equal to can we pass data frame there?
This is a data frame only, DF.
Can we pass in the list?
No,
Okay.
no. I don't think you can pass list.
Okay.
It has to be a data frame only. You cannot pass a list of data frames here.
Does it have a cross join, Ankit?
Yeah, we have the cross join. Yeah, good point. So you can say, let's do this. So instead of outer, I will say cross, right? And then what should be my condition? Can someone tell me? Left on, right on?
Condition not there in the cross join.
It is
Yeah, condition is not
the
required, so I
condition
can
product.
just do this.
Yeah.
Now, if someone doesn't know cross join, let me explain you quickly. So cross join means I want to join every row of one data set to every other row of other data set, which means this. Let's say my one data set is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And let's say this is A, B, C, D, right? I have another data frame. Let's say this is 4, 5, 6. Okay, and this is E, E, G, right? So when I do an inner join, let's say I'm doing an inner join on this column. So the output will be only 4, right? 4, D, E, right? This will be the output. Sorry, this is 4. When I do inner join, only the matching elements will come. Are you all agree with me?
Yes.
So this is, let's say, ID, name, let's say ID, department, right? So when I do an inner join, I'm doing an inner join on ID, right? So output would be 4 and name will be D and department will be E, right? This is my inner join. When I do a left join, what is happening? I'm getting all the rows from here, respective they are there on the right data set or not, right? This is how I'm getting. And whatever is the matching data, so this is all none, right? Because I don't have a department information for all these guys. I have only for D, or sorry, 4, right? So department will come as E, right? So this is my left join. Similarly, right join and outer join. Now, what is cross join? Cross join means I don't have a joining condition, right? I'm not giving joining condition as ID. I'm just doing cross join, which means every row of this join with every row of this, right? So it will be like this. 1 A, B, C, D. Sorry. Okay. 1 A, B, C, D, right? And all of this will be joined with this. So you will have E, 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 right? Again, all of these rows will again get joined with all of these rows. This. Or you can imagine like this. This is getting joined with all 3 records. Again, this record is getting joined with all 3 records because there is no join condition. So each record of this table will be joined with each record of this table, and that is known as cross join, right? So I will say 1A, right? And it is joined with all 3. So 1A will be 3 times. 1A, 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 and I will have EFG, right? And again, for 1B, 2B again, I have EFG. There is no joint condition. So 2B, right? So how many records will be there in the output in case of cross join?
12.
12. So it will be number of rows in this table multiplied by number of rows in this table. So 4 into 3 will be 12, right? Everyone, is it clear? Cross join. Those who are coming from SQL background, it is easy to understand. If you are not, please let me know. I can clarify more at this point. If you are not clear with all these kinds of join. Okay, so let's do cross join. No, everyone understands. No one is saying anything. Okay, so I'll just do cross join. Now in cross join, we don't have to pass any join condition. So I will just say how equal to cross, and these are my data sets. Okay. So if you see, okay, I have just assigned it. What is the error here? Order ID. Order ID. Did we change anything? Oh, we have to create df and df again. I just ran df equal to something, so it just overwritten it. Okay, let me create it quickly. dfr is this, and df is this. Okay, I just override the df data frame, and that's why it is giving me error. Order ID is not there. Okay, let me run this now. Okay, Okay, so if you see, this is a cross join, and how many are coming? 55099, right? So let's see, is it right or not? So we have orders data frame which has 5009 records, right? It has 5009 records, right? One is a header, right? And in returns, how many I have? I have 10, right? So 5009 into 10 will be 55099. Sorry, something is not right. The returns we have, how many? 10 we have. Into 10, if I do, it will be 50090, right?
We had added one random.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I added a random one. Okay, got it. So we have 11. So 509 into 11. Yeah, 55099. Perfect. Right? So if you look at the DFR, we have total 11 rows, not just one, not just 10, because we added this random return, right? So we have total 11, 0 to 10. Okay. So this is how cross join works. You don't have to give any condition. It will just join every row of first data set to every other row of second data set. So these are our 5 kinds of join.
Ankit, one doubt in like a PySpark, we have like dot a SQL method in that we can write the SQL like a
Mhm.
query. So like same thing we can do here because like it's fine, but if we can write just like a SQL query, so it would be
You need
more
Spark
fine.
libraries for that.
So there are different libraries, rightly said, that there are different
Mhm.
libraries which are built on top of data frame. You can just explore. So in that, what you can do, you can write SQL-like queries within the data frames. But directly on pandas, it is not there as such. It is not a pandas feature, but there are
Mhm.
libraries which have been built on top of pandas, and you can use those.
Okay,
So
okay.
Ankit, basic ATLs are run on Pandas only, right? Or any other extra libraries are also used.
You can do in pandas. So there are a lot of libraries, but pandas is most used, and you can do all the ETL, data transformation, data massaging, data cleaning using pandas only.
Mhm.
You don't have to use anything else. Okay, because pandas is built on top of NumPy, it is quite fast as well. Okay, great. So this was all about data aggregation and data joins, right? Now,
Ankit, one question. So if the join is on multiple attribute or column, like
right,
instead of order ID, we have more column.
yes. Mm-hmm. So what is your doubt?
So in the joining condition where we would pass multiple columns, like order ID, comma, the other attribute name, is it
Right, you have to pass it as a list. So
as a
order
list?
ID, comma, product ID, that's it.
Okay. And if the joining condition is not equal and something else, is that also we can do? Like maybe
No,
not equal or less than or equal to? No?
no, that you cannot do here.
Okay.
Yeah. So SQL is very flexible. You don't have that flexibility here. Okay, great. Now let's talk about, so this is about joining the data set, right? So joining means yes, there are, let's say, 5 columns here, 2 columns here. You are joining and getting all the information, right? Now, how to, concat data sets? For example, I want to do a union kind of thing, right? So for example, let's say I have 2 different data sources of, let's say my, so if I look at my orders data set, let's say I have 3 different data sets for my 3 categories. For technologies, there is one data set. For furniture, there is one data set. And for office supplies, there is one data set, right? And now I want to combine them and create one data set, right? How do I do it? So let's take a simple example. I'll go here. Let's use this to understand the concept, okay? Because it will become a big data set otherwise. So this is my DF. Let's call it DF1. Okay, so this is TF1, and let's create 2 more. So let's say Pankaj and I'm keeping two only here. Let's remove this. Mm, mm, Pankaj. This is my DF2. Okay. So we have two data frames for now. Okay. And I want to combine the data, right? It is possible that I have multiple Excel sheets, with the same data for one region, let's say West region, or let's say for US Pacific. For US, I have one data set. For Asia, I have another data set. And for EMEA, I have third data set, right? And I want to combine the data, right? The column structure is same, if you see. But it is just I have different data sets for different regions or category, and I want to combine them. Kind of union, right? How do I do that? For that, we have a concat, pd.concat, right? And I can just pass my data frame list. So I will say concat df1, comma df2. Okay. So what it will give? It will just combine them. If you see in the output, I have 5 rows, right? 3 from the first one and 2 from the second one.
But number of columns should be same, right?
Number of columns should be same. Okay.
Type
If it is
also
not,
the same, right?
yeah.
Type.
Also,
the
if
type.
you see, it is getting the same indexes as well. So 0, 1, 2, and from here 0, 1. If you don't want that, right? So there is an argument you can pass as what is that index? I forgot. Ignore index. Yeah. Ignore index equal to true. So you are saying ignore the indexes, just copy the data. Just concat the data. Ignore index is false by default. You are saying ignore index equal to true. It is giving you the index from 0 to 4. It is just concatenating data and giving you the running index. It created a new index basically. 0, 1, 2,
Or
3, 4.
or Ankit, can we reset the index as well?
You can reset also. That is also fine. So once you concat it and then you can say reset index. That also works.
Okay. Okay.
So instead of this, can do this. Then dot reset underscore index. And this is also fine. But it created a new column which you can draw. Yeah. Okay. So this is to concatenate. Again, you can pass as many data frames as you want. Right? There are two. This is a list. So you have 5, 10, whatever. You can pass that list and everything will be just one after another appended kind of thing. It will create a new data frame. Okay. Now there is another cool thing about this is this we are appending row, right? Rows of this and rows of this, right? What if I want to append columns, right? So I can say x is equal to 0. So when I say x is equal to 0, by default x is equal to 0. So it is combining all the rows. When I say x is equal to 1, it is just placing all the columns together, right? So 0, 1, 2 index of this and 0, 1, 2 index of this. Now because the second index is not there in this, right? So it is coming as none, none.
Any particular use case for this particular access equal to 1? And when can this be used?
So for example, if you have two data sets, right? And you just want to join them based on indexes. So the merge statement will join based on the column value, right? Like order ID or product ID, right? Let's say you want to join based on the index only for some reason. Then you can use concat. It is a kind of join. The join is on index, right? This concat x is equal to 1 is a join, but the join is on index. The left join it is actually.
So more like a self join in this case.
Yeah. Self join again. In self join also you want to give a condition, but it is only based on index. It is not a self join. DF1 and DF2 are two separate data frames, right? It is not a self join.
Pivot on pivot kind of thing is there, right?
It is not
This
even
one.
that. It is just join based on index. That's it.
Okay.
Is this clear? X is 0, X is 1. Everyone is able to understand or everyone is not able to understand? No questions.
Ankit,
Yes, Ankit.
earlier we learned that axis 0 refers to column and 1 refers to rows in our last session.
Right.
Yeah, here it is reverse.
No, if you see X is equal to 0, it is combining based on columns only, right? All the columns of this is combined with this.
Which
right?
is by default. Right.
Right. So your
Mm.
your columns are same. Only
Okay.
rows are increasing. And when I say 1, your rows are same, but your columns are increasing.
Okay, so here it is 1 is stating as a column, right?
Right.
Short is a horizontally append.
So it is saying that join the rows, append based on rows. Right?
Kind of like a
Rows are getting
transpose.
appended.
Okay, okay.
0, 1, 2 of this is appended with 0, 1, 2 of another one.
Okay, okay. Got it.
When I say 0, the columns will be, so name, gender, email of first is combined with name, gender, email of second one.
Okay.
Right? So you can just, it is the mindset, that's it.
Okay.
How we visualize it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can we give the name of the column here? Like name, gender, email, name, gender, email.
Sorry, say that again.
Can we rename the columns here?
Yeah, you can
Earlier
rename.
we got 0, yeah, 0, 1, 2,
Yeah,
right?
when we
So
are
I
doing
want name,
this,
gender, email.
yeah, when doing this, we are getting this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can just give the column names late again. So if you assign it to a data frame, and then you can pass df dot columns equal to and then your column list. Or you can also rename it. We have the df dot rename method. Okay, great. So this is all
Yeah.
about concat. It is kind of union thing. If you want to union it, you can do using uh, concat method. Pending data, anything you can call it.
And Ankit, sorry, I missed on that part. Ignore index. Why are we using that?
Yeah, so if I don't give it, so I'll just change it to 0 and I'll just, by default it is false. Let me give it false, right? So what will happen? It will just take indexes from the data frames. So it will take 0, 1, 2 and for this it will again take 0, 1. Okay. So if I run this, 0, 1, 2 and 0, 1, you see? Right? So it is taking index values as it is 0, 1, 2 and 0, 1. Right? So if I want to ignore those index values, so I can just say true and it will create a new index starting from 0 till 4.
Got it.
Okay, great. Great. So this is about how to concat. Okay. Now let's talk about how to, so this comes under, data cleaning and all those kinds of things. So let's say I want to drop duplicates, right? That day we saw how to delete those, how to append those, but we can have duplicate in our data, right? So how do I drop the duplicates? So let's understand. So let's create a data set. We have df already, right? Okay. Df dot, let me do this. Df equal to this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have this data set, right? And I want to drop duplicates, right? Currently, there are no duplicates as such. But let's say I want to drop duplicates based on the gender, right? So based on the gender, I have some duplicates. So let me create some data actually. So what I will do, let me take this quickly. Okay, so we have df, and let's keep it as one more, Ankit. Okay. Mm, mm, stay. Let's see what is we have. Okay, great. So we have 4 rows now. Okay, one of the rows is, you said, duplicate, pure duplicate, Ankit, male, and this is the same data, right? And I have some duplicates in my data, and I want to remove those duplicates, right? So what I will say, so this is my df dot drop underscore duplicates. That's it. Okay, let's see what will happen. Okay, if I run this, you see, it is returning only 3 rows, right? It is not returning the duplicate values. It is just returning unique values, right? So the moment it finds a duplicate value, it is just not returning it, right? So this is if you have the pure duplicate row, the exactly the same row, right? Let's say everything else is same, email ID is repeating, and I want to drop duplicates only based on email ID, which means, let's say, so I have this Ankit, and this is, let's say, Vicky, right? And let's say this is fine. Okay. So if you see in this data set, if I do drop duplicates, nothing will happen, right? So if I do, all 4 are coming, right? Because by default, drop duplicate set is looking at the full row, right? Now, if you look at the full row, there is no duplicate as such. But now what I want to do, I want to drop only based on the email ID, right? So I will say drop duplicates and then subset. I want to drop duplicate on based on email ID only. So email. Okay. So I'm passing check based on subset the duplicate values, right? So if I run this now, you see duplicate is gone again.
So on what basis did it consider Ankit and not Vicky?
Sorry?
On what basis did it choose to drop the Vicky and not the Ankit?
Yeah, I'll come to that. So by default, it will just keep the first value. Okay. By default, it will keep the first value. So Ankit is first, it is giving you the first. But there are other options as well. You can say keep equal to. So by default, it is first. So if you see, it is keeping the first value. You can say last. So it will keep the last value then. Okay.
Can we pass multiple columns in subset?
Yes. Yes. So now I will pass gender as well, let's say. Okay. So again, you have to pass it as a list. So email and based on gender as well. I want to check the duplicates, right? Sorry, it is small. Okay. Okay, so again, it is removing the duplicates based on the email ID and the gender, which was same, and it is keeping the last value, Vicky.
Group by it is like doing
Not
it
group
or
by,
it is up.
it is removing duplicates.
Okay.
Delete duplicates, exactly. Based on email and gender, I want to remove the duplicates and I want to keep the last row. So if there are multiple rows, it will just keep the last one. If you want to keep the first one, just if you put first, it will just keep the first value and the last one, last duplicate won't be there.
So last and first is based on that index, right? So if you want to based on that
Yes.
some order by some date, any one columns, how do you do that?
So you have to sort the data set first and then do it, right? We have the sort option, sort values method we learned other day. So you have to sort it first and then remove the duplicates.
Oh, fine, yeah.
In case of email
Also,
ID,
this is not happening in the data set. Again, you have to say in place equal to true, remember. Only when you do this, then it is happening in the data set. Otherwise, it is just throwing the result after this operation. Okay. Now there is one more option. Let me just comment this for now. And I will say keep equal to false. I can even pass keep equal to false. Can someone guess what will happen?
Last one.
No, it will take all the records.
Normally
Any
it will
guesses?
remove first one.
It will
So
it
is
will
false.
remove the
By
duplicate.
default, take
It
the
will not
first
give any
one.
record of the duplicate.
It will remove both of those.
Yes.
It is not keeping anything, neither first nor the last. It is just removing all the duplicate rows. Only the unique one it is showing based on this subset. Okay.
This is more danger.
Sorry?
This might be more
It's
danger.
more dangerous. Yeah, it
Oh.
is dangerous.
Okay, if we pass keep equals to true,
Keep equals to true is not an option, I think. Keep equal to true. I don't think it will give me error, I think. It is giving
Green
me,
caps.
it is not
Caps.
expecting true.
Caps.
True is not,
Green caps.
sorry. Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah. It give you error. Keep must be either first, last, or false. Yeah, you cannot give true. Okay, so in keep you can have only 3 values.
And if I want list of all the duplicate values, like what all records are duplicate?
What all records are duplicate? Then you have to do the same thing, like do a group by, take a count, right? If
Can you
count
show
is
us?
greater than 1, then it is a duplicate.
Okay.
Can you show us?
So what we want to do is, let's do it. So we have this df, right? Let's do this df dot group by, right? Group by on what? Email ID. Let's say email ID. Email, right? And I want, let's say anything you can take, name, right? And then count of this dot count, right? So it is giving me there 2 1 1, right? Is it clear what is coming here? So there are 2 rows of this email ID, 1 row of this, 1 row of this, right? Now I want to see the index, right? Sorry, index, no, values, the values of it. This is my values, right? And what are my indexes? This is my index.
You can't see in data frame.
Sorry?
So I want to see in a data frame.
Yeah. So this is my count. This is clear, right? So what I will do, let me create another one. df grouped, let's say. Okay, so this is my dfg now. And dfg is a series, right? I can say dfg equal to dfg. I'm giving my filter condition now. dfg dot value greater than equal to 2. This is my filter condition now, right? dfg dot values greater than equal to 2. So if I run this, dfg, sorry.
Ankit, why not simply greater than 1?
That is also fine. It is up to you. Same thing, right? I can say dfg and pass this filter condition, right? This is how we were sorting. So it is giving me that Ankit is the duplicate and it has count. So this is how you can find the duplicate values. So first, same as if you're coming from SQL background, do a group by and get a count, right? And then if count, you say having, instead of having, I'm creating a data set here and then putting a filter condition that value should be greater than 1. Because it is what? It is a series, right? So I can just access using index and values method, right? dfg dot index and dfg dot values. Okay, so this is how I got to know that this email ID is duplicated. Okay, all good? Great. Now let's talk about the null values we were talking, right? What is this null? So let me create data set with some null value. So let's take this. I'll show you from the file as well, but for now I'm creating here and I'm creating some null values. Let me create this as null. Okay, so to represent null, we have to say np dot none. Okay, so I have to import numpy as well here. Import numpy as np. Okay, and this is my null value. Let me make one more null value. This also. I will say np dot none. Let me run this, and you will see there are two null values, right? None or null, whatever you call it. The gender here and the email here. Okay. Now I will say df. Let me create a df only instead of df. Okay, so I will say df dot is na. Okay, so if I pass this, it will check if there is any none value, right? And it will return something. Let's see what it returns. So it is returning false, true, false, right? What it is just going to the each element and checking if it is a none. No, then it is giving me false. So only for these two values, it is giving me true, right?
And pass this in a df. Good. We have to pass this df dot is na in a list to that particular data frame to get only the null values, right?
Right, that you can do, that filtration that we do, right? So this is on data frame. So for example, if you want to check for particular column, so you can say df gender, right, is NA. So this will return wherever gender is null or not, right? Now this you can pass in a df further, this filter condition, and it will show you wherever gender is null. So if we have to check gender equal to male, I will do this, right? Gender equal to male, right? And it will give me all the rows where gender is male, right? Only one row is there, right? So instead of equal to, we use in SQL also we use is null, right? And here also we have is none, not is none. We have is none, is none, and then this.
Is NA.
Is NA.
Is NA, sorry, is NA. Okay. So this is how you can find what are the null values, right? For a particular column, or if you want to find for full data frame, also that works. Okay. Now another thing is, let's say I want to drop this, right? I want to drop the null values for some reason, right? This is my requirement. So we have df dot drop na, right? So what it will do, it will just check wherever is the null value and it will just drop it. Okay. So if I run this now, you see this row is gone and this row is also gone. So it is checking row wise that if any one value is null in this row, then it is just dropping it. Again, this is not happening in data frame. You have to do in place equal to true, right? But to understand it, what it is doing, it is going to the each row, right? Each row and checking if there is any null value. If even single null value is found, it will just drop it.
So Ankit,
Right?
is it looking for a null value or a boolean true and then dropping it?
It is looking for the none value. Wherever none value is there, it is dropping that row. Directly I'm running df drop NA, right?
Right.
It is just dropping it. See, only one is remaining now. Right? Now you will say that I don't want to check for everything. So what you can do is, so this is argument, how equal to, and we can pass any, right? When I say any, what it will do, it will check if any column is null, right? Which is by default. So if I run this again, it is giving me this. If you say all, it will drop only those rows where all the values are null, right? So if you do how equal to any, sorry, let me do this. So if any one of the column is null or none, right, NaN, it will just drop it. But if you say all, then see we are getting all the three rows because there is not a single row where all the values are null, right? So if I have to create one more row. Let's do this quickly. So np dot none and
So Ankit, for example, we import from a file where, for example, gender is the primary key or a column. And while importing only, we can check there and there itself. If it is null, then do not fetch that. And if it is not, then only take it up ahead. Can that?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
I mean, just a way of thinking.
Yeah, you are right. So you see, there is full null now, right? The third row. So if I run df dot drop NA how equal to all, it is not showing the last one because all of those are null. Okay. Now this is row wise. What if you want to check on column wise, right? So again, we have the option of x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1, right? So I can say, or we can even pass this. So I can say x is equal to columns, right? So if I run this, we are getting everything, right? So let me run on this. Okay, so I will run any x is equal to columns. Now can you tell me what will be the output quickly? What will happen now?
No output. Empty data frame.
Columns will be
Nothing will come because this column will be dropped. One NaN is there. This will be dropped. This will be dropped.
Empty DF.
So nothing. Empty data frame. Right? Let me remove this one. Let's say age.
Ankit, but here Rahul is not NA, right? Rahul record.
Rahul record this one. This is based on columns now, right? I'm saying x is equal to column. So it will check the columns. Right? So this column has no null now, right? So it is coming. This column has a null and this column also has a null. So these are dropped because I'm saying how equal to any and x is equal to columns.
Okay.
Got it? So there are two things. One is how it can be all or any or axis. Axis by default is index, or you can even pass index. So you can say x is equal to index, right? So by default it is index. You don't have to do it, but I'm just telling. The last thing in this is you can even pass the subset. So it is checking the full row, right? Full row or full column. But you are saying that, okay, just check this. And based on that, you drop, right? Subset equal to, and I can pass two columns. So I can say based on name and email, right? So now this is your subset. Within that, it will check if any of the row is null, then it will drop based on these two columns only, right?
Ankit, I'm talking about that empty set we got.
Yeah, empty we got because we had here also we had null earlier. I
In
just
Rahul
made it as
record,
24, 34.
Rahul record, we don't have any null, right?
No, I'm doing based on columns. So this is one column, this is second column, this is third. When I'm
Okay,
saying
okay, got it. If
x is equal
any
to
null,
columns. Yeah.
yeah, got it. Yeah.
So there are two things, x is columns and x is index. Index means rows.
So by default, X is index.
Yeah. By default, x is index, which is rows. Okay. Last thing for today. Then we are done. So df dot, we have the fill n as well. Now we have found the, duplicate, sorry, wherever null values are there, we have to way of dropping also. But what if instead of dropping, I want to put a default value, right? Here I have dropped it, but I don't want to drop it, right? It can be, I have other things in my data. So if I drop it, everything will be dropped, right? I don't have this Ankit and Ankit gmail.com. Nothing is there, right? So what I want to do, I want to put a default value. If there is a null value, put some default value, right? So I will say df for whatever column. So for example, for gender, I want to do it. Gender, right? I can do on full data frame as well. Fill NA, and then I have to pass what value. So value equal to, let's say, new mail, something I'm just putting to show you. Okay. If you see, new mail is coming. Wherever null was there, we have filled it with new mail. If I want to assign it to the original data frame, I can say df gender. I mean, on the original data frame, you can say df gender is equal to df gender dot fill na and this. In fact, we will have this also, I think, in place equal to true. Let's try this. In place equal to true. Okay, now if I look at df, in df, wherever null was there in the gender column, we have new mail. Okay, are we good in terms of handling null values? So you have to, this all comes into the cleaning data, right? You have some null values, you want to drop it, or you want to put some default value, accordingly you can do it.
Ankit, why you imported NumPy here?
We imported NumPy because to represent null value, we have to use NP. So none is a NumPy attribute. So we have to do np.none. If you are reading a file, okay, if you are reading a file, if there is something empty, right, that will come as none. So let me do it, df file equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Okay, one more thing. In Pandas, we have this read underscore clipboard also. Very cool, actually. I recently found out. So if you copy something, so let me copy something here. Orders, orders. We are almost done for the day. Let me take not this one. Returns. Okay, and I can just copy this, right? And I will say read clipboard. So whatever I have copied, just read it and separator this comma in my data, right? So I will say comma. I copied this and I'm doing nothing else. So if I run this now and check DFF, see the data is here. So it is just whatever I copied using Control C, it is able to read it. Read underscore clipboard and separator is comma, right? Now let me do something this. So let me make something empty. Okay, just copy this again and run this. So if you see, this is coming as none, right? So in your file, if something is empty, right, no value is there, this will come as null, right? So it is coming as none. But if you have
Sorry,
to,
one more time. How are you reading that from the copied text?
this read clipboard method.
Okay, just need to copy it and then run this code.
That's it.
But there
It
is
is-
no path we are mentioning how it is reading.
There's no path. So whatever I copied, right? It is on my clipboard. When I do Control C, it is on my clipboard. So I just have to see. So whatever you have to Control C, whatever is on clipboard, it will just read it. There is no path. It will just read from the clipboard.
Ankit, if you do not pass the separator one, it will still copy the same.
So it doesn't understand actually. There is a comma, so it will give you like this. This is a one column it is considering.
If we
Maybe
copy
tab is by default,
multiple
but
things,
separation you can pass. Yeah.
Ankit, in terms of data cleaning, for example, if we have some bad character coming in the file,
Mm-hmm.
then is there any way in Pandas we can find out and we can delete that
So
things?
you have to use actually regular expressions. You can study about it. There is a separate, full topic regular expression. Using that, you can do it.
Okay, can
Okay.
we do this in class, our class?
A regular expression will take a lot of time. It is in itself is a big topic. So you can I can share some resources if you want.
Okay, please share that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just take a note.
Also, Ankit, you was about to tell us how to
In
commit code in Git, right?
Sorry?
For Git, how we can commit our code, Python code that we're practicing in Git. You were about to tell us.
Your voice is breaking. I don't know if only for me, but I'm not able to hear you properly.
Yeah, everyone.
Can you say that again?
You was about to tell us how we can commit our Python code that we're practicing in Git, right? Yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
commit
we-
on GitHub?
Yeah.
End of the course, I will tell you how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ankit, you will be
yeah.
talking about the APIs also, right? API integration with Python.
Yeah. In one of the project, we will use a API. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is it done for today?
As you said that for the data.
Yeah, we are done for today.
What is tomorrow's session, Ankit?
Tomorrow, no, we have a session on Thursday.
Yeah. What is next class about?
So in next class, there are two things we have to cover. One thing is we have to cover the data type classing. From one data type, I want to convert to another data type, and how to deal with the dates. We have not discussed how to work with dates along with pandas. That also, and if time permits, we will see how we can create some visualization as well using pandas. So 3 topics for Thursday.
Ankit, how many more classes are pending now?
So pandas, I think we will finish in the next class. Almost we are done with pandas. Okay. And I think next week will be the last week. So then the next week we will take up the ETLs and all. So this Friday we will start with the ETL thing, and then next week, yeah. And then I will give a project. And later we can discuss the project. But next week will be the last week.
So Ankit, we will
So,
not
Ankit,
different
did you
sources
check our
databases.
Sorry?
How to read the data from the different kind of sources and all.
Yes. That will be covered in pandas. That's what in Thursday or Friday we will cover that.
Thanks.
Ankit, do we have constraints in there, like in here,
No.
in pandas,
No.
like we have in
No.
SQL?
And
No.
Ankit, if nested JSON, how to explode and all. If you have anything resources also, it will be work. It will be
Sure. JSON, I'll share that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So Ankit, how we can make a column as primary key or unique column so that the values don't repeat?
No, you can't force that in the data frame. You can't force that. Like in SQL we have, you cannot do that here. Yeah. You cannot do it. You have to handle in the code itself.
Okay.
Can we discuss last project as well? Earlier project?
Yes, we will discuss that.
Okay.
Okay. One more thing. Good to remind me. So now, since you guys have done this, now you know joins. What you have to do, the earlier project, you can do using pandas, right? In that way, you will have good practice of pandas as well. So for whatever validations we were doing, now do it using pandas. Okay. So you can just do that project, and instead of whatever functions you have created to do the validations, wherever you see you can use pandas and do that project again.
Okay.
Okay. It will be a good exercise to learn pandas. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you all on Thursday. Okay,
Thanks,
and
everyone.
make sure you do enough practice. We are covering a lot of topics every day. If you don't practice, then you will forget, right? What all things are there. Okay. Thank you, everyone.